Morning traders, real quick video here this morning. I've updated my charts this morning here. So some things I got going on here. We have for your call walls and your put walls, we have a reduction of range here on the S&Ps this morning. SPX. SPX is not showing the true price action. ESs are down this morning. But we're not seeing the true price action yet here on the SPX because it's a cash security. So basically, so we do have a tighter range here on the S&Ps this morning here, having a really negative reaction to the 830 report. Jobs cost, the cost of getting employees had unexpectedly was higher than expected. So markets did not like that this morning. Okay. So what we got going on here, we do have an expansion of range here on uh, the cues today. So be mindful of that, both the upside and the downside yet versus yesterday's range. This here's your yesterday's trading range. This is here our expected trading range today. And both of these, SPX and Qs, were in a positive gamma situation yesterday. And today that is not the case. So, in my opinion, it actually increased the odds of some sell side action this morning, in which we saw a negative reaction to the data set. So that was another thing that I was wanting to mention. Actually catching a little bit of relief rally here in the VIX, but really it's VIX was in a negative gamma situation early on this morning. We're just barely poking back above that situation so far this morning. Got to hold above 15 here. Um, Otherwise, the bulls are still in control of the market here. But, bottom line is, it looks like we're coming out of a negative gamma situation early on this morning on our VIX. So that could be telling of maybe a little bit more sell side action here the last day of the month. Okay, uh, we dojied out on the S&Ps on the daily time frame, right at the 50-day moving average yesterday, and so this is where you would think that they were trying to push price to finish off the month, and coming back in a little bit here does not uh, kind of makes sense. They've hit the target range that they wanted to get, and it is kind of amazing too. Right here at this price point, this 5100 level, there has been some major institutional trades happening at this price point, strongly suggesting that we've hit some major resistance and we're having major distribution happening at this price point. Typically, when you have a major distribution area, it can resolve higher, but after knowing how long of a uptrend we've been in, more times than not, it will resolve lower, and ultimately, our target would be 4,700 on the S&Ps for a proper retest back to normalize to a proper correction here in the markets. Okay. Another way of looking at this morning, we just got here. Here's the ES futures, so you're actually seeing the actual what's happening on the price action this morning. So we haven't broken yesterday's lows. Remember, yesterday afternoon we had a flash crash. So on the ESs, we're still holding those lows from yesterday. We're still holding the lows on the Qs. Okay, on that flash crash here, but we are just got decimated on the bond market this morning. I mean, just absolutely decimated. And what's happening here? Look at the bonds. These bonds are just getting obliterated this morning. So be mindful of what's happening here. Where's the 4 hour? There it is. So keep an eye on this 4 hour here on the bond market. So we haven't broken. It's not the end of the world yet, but it's not looking pretty here on your ZNs here. Uh, this is suggest we have a bid in yields today. Put more further evidence that the Powell's going to have a very difficult case to cut interest rates given the current climate on inflation. Because the last thing they wanted to see was the cost of employment to be going up. So that's not good. Okay. So the bond, like I said, the Russell really got it on the chin here this morning. So as far as earnings go, the big one was PayPal this morning, and it is. Is it still up? Let's see. Check PayPal. Yeah, it's still up this morning. Uh, I zoom this out here. Let's put PayPal in here. There you go. So we do have a bid under PayPal. It was had a positive response. So in the we've almost filled this. I think I got the gap area here. Let's go over into daily. There might be a gap there. It's trying to satisfy. For here. I can't even read very well. That's not right either. Where's the daily for here? There it is. Yeah, see, there's a gap up here. We're trying to satisfy this gap this morning. Apple's or PayPal's trying to come up in here and fill this gap. So in all likelihood, we are going to fill this gap in the morning session before they actually get a reprieve. So be mindful of that. If you're trying to trade this, I wouldn't trade it to the downside till that gap is actually satisfied. Um, so, kind of, I think we got a few more ticks higher here that we haven't gotten quite to completely fill that gap. So that'd be really dangerous to be trying to short something like that today. Okay, we do have some like Amazon reporting tonight. I think AMD's coming around, so some big players still reporting. So be mindful of that as well. And we did have very uh, for the month-on-month retail sales, we had very hot retail up 4.5% over the prior read. So some of these retailers like Walmart, you know, these all might benefit from that type of scenario. So let's keep an eye on that. You know, uh, but ultimately, like I said, we're not in that positive gamma situation. So you have to be very mindful that the markets could be on, you know, uh, some profit taking here. The gate is open for some profit taking here, um, before these big earnings coming out. So be quite mindful of that situation. Okay. Okay, I'm rambling on here. I don't want to keep rambling. Was there another chart I wanted to show? Yeah, see, we got a double distribution area. We came down here, we crashed down. We're already trying to create a base here. So we're in it. So basically, yeah, it's going to be really interesting if we stay below here and start building price lower. That would be great. It looks like we're doing a big rejection of a major trend here as well. So that'd be quite interesting too, possibly to the downside here on the S&Ps. And so, yeah, so we're still holding support. I mean, we're not really in trouble here until we start losing 51, you know, 51.15, something like that. So, so far we're actually holding support there here on the ESs. So, major that is a major area. So we came down, held that major support. I would say as long as we hold that major support, we're okay. But you could have an alert set here at the pre-market lows here. If we start losing that, it's game on to the short side. So be very mindful. And look at the Russell here. This Russell looks like it could get crucified today. So be very mindful of this. Again, this thing has a long way just to potentially reset to the downside. We could be seeing down here to the uh, 1990. 1990, we could be losing another 10 points here on the Russell. So let's keep an eye on that. We're not out of this volume distribution, so that's a good thing. We're trying to defend this area, so that is a good thing. Now, if you were coming in to the open right at the very bottom of that, I would have been quite a lot more worried, but we're not quite there. So it looks like they're trying to hold supports here. Okay. Hopefully the audio works better on this one than it has in the past. Thanks a lot.